Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I have just passed the semi-annual convention baton to your president, Alex. Because this morning when I woke up, I switched on Facebook and then suddenly Alex's face was right in front of me and I said, wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned, I have been a Toastmasters member for 23 years. And in fact, this building was something of sentimental value for me. You know why? Because my first Toastmasters meeting was in this building.
Wow.
Which club? Anyone, can you guess which club meets in this building?
MIHRM.
MIM.
Indra
MIM.
No.
Who else can
This building, those days, 23 years ago, belongs to Sunway Group. And this place belongs to Sunway College. And the club that meets here was Sunway Toastmasters Club. That was my very first club. And Sunway Toastmasters Club has been in existence for 26 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was where I began my journey in Toastmasters. And right now I can tell you something. I used to be a very shy person. Now if you ask me to stand in front here and speak to you, I can tell you, sorry, forget about it. I'm not going to do that. You can put your gun on my head and I'm not going to come out and speak. But right now, I can't wait to come out and share things with you. But of course, the timer is keeping time. Ladies and gentlemen, in Toastmasters, you learn about leadership, you learn about communication. Now, why is leadership and communication so important? It's because of this. In the 21st century, things have changed tremendously. I remember those days when I started work in the late 80s and the early 90s. My boss can tell me to do anything, and yet I will need to follow. Right now, no way. Now try asking the younger ones. Tell them what they do. Tell them how to do it. You think they will follow what you say?
No. They question you back.
They will question you back.
Why you didn't do?
Exactly. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, when I was doing a lot of leadership and communication programs, and in fact, during the semi-annual convention, I had a group of 25 people, 25 committees. So just imagine with 25 committees, each with a different needs, how would you expect to manage each and every one according to their needs? So that is why I'd like to share with you some of my insights into management and also how you can use this insight in your daily work. Let me just share you. Now, do you know how many generations of people do we have at this moment in time? 3, 4. How many generations?
Well, count.
Right. Now we have 4 generations. Now those born before 1960, can I have a show of hands? Can sing, right? Anthony, you're still very young. Now those born before 1960s, now their work ethics, I can tell you, they are superb. Superb in the sense that they will stay in a company for a long, long time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Anthony, how long have you stayed in your company previously?
Easily about 20 over years.
20 over years. Your first job?
Yeah.
Until you retire?
After that, no, I went on my own.
You went on your own. Okay, but you retired with that job.
Not to say retired. I don't like the word retired. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Right. You started
I
off
do
with one job, right?
flexible
Okay.
because I'm in the printing industry.
All right.
So I still do, service customers.
All right.
and
Wonderful. Wonderful. You see, the baby boomers usually they will stay in one job. Our parents' generation, they will stay in one job and they stay in that job for a very, very long time. Even that they can start with their job and they can end with their job. And also when they are working, they are focused fully on their job. And I can tell you, they are very, very hardworking. Right? They are very hardworking. From morning, they can be out from the house, and then only evening, they are back to the house. So that's why you can seldom see your father around. For those older generation, like me. Right? That's basically baby boomers. Now, Generation X, those born between 1961 and 1980, let's have a show of hands. Alright, so you are the Generation X, my generation. Right? Now, Generation X, basically, you do have some values of baby boomers. So you're not so much different from the baby boomers. You have also very strong work ethics. You also do what you believe in, and you are very good person. You follow a lot of instructions given by your boss and all that. So basically, you will do what your boss asks you to do. And if you get scolded, I can tell you, you'll be very quiet, like a mouse. You won't say a single thing. That will go against your boss. And that is why during that time the management is by K. True? And do baby boomers, Generation X also, you do have some of the characteristics as I mentioned, and you do stay in a job for quite some time. You need at least about 5 years before you even look for another job, right? At least 5 years, then only you move on. Now, Generation Y, those born between 1981 and 2000. Roxanne, you are not.
1999.
Alright, now you are the Generation Ys. Generation Ys, you are totally different from the previous two generations, baby boomers and also Generation X. Now you are the people whom I shall say, you have a mind of your own, you think you are pretty much exposed, and you don't like to follow orders. True? Sorry?
Sometimes have to follow.
Yeah, sometimes you have to follow, but most of the time you won't follow because you have a mind of your own. And you tend to think very creatively, right? You have a lot of brilliant ideas. The only problem is that the managers, your managers, are from a different generation and they always tell you that, please follow my orders, right? Now, you are also what I term as the fragile generation. You can break very easily. What I mean break easily is that when you are put under pressure, you have problems sustaining the pressure. So that is why a lot of time you may either give up or look for a new job. That's why for you, looking for a new job is like changing clothes. You like to change clothes? Okay, change. I want to change job? I change. And not only that, your parents always tell you that if you are too hard, if the job is too difficult, don't work. Find another job.
Yeah.
True?
Who's fault? Parents' fault.
Whose fault? Parents' fault. Anyone born between 1981 to 1985? Right. Now you are what we call the trans Y. The trans Y, right? Now this is a transition between X to Y. Now I call you the confused generation. Yeah, you don't know whether you are X or Y. You are somewhere in between. Right? So next will be the current generation, that is those born after the year 2001 to the current present year, and it will be until 2020. Right? Now this is the Generation Z, or we call them the Millennium generation. Now this generation, your children's generation, this is a totally different generation. Now this generation, basically, they are anti-social. Yeah. Just imagine when you go for dinner, right? You go for dinner and all that. And do you know where they are looking at usually most of the time? Family dinner. Where they look at? They look at their handphones, they look at their tablet, PCs and all that, right? So that's why they are always looking down, they are never looking up. And that's why this group will have big problems when they come out to work because they do not know how to communicate. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, with 4 different generations, how are you going to manage people in 4 different generations? Now the baby boomers are already into retirement, but some of them are not willing to say they're into retirement, which is something that's very good. The Generation X, basically, they are now in senior management position.
Wow.
The Generation Y are more into senior executives and middle managers, and Generation Z still in school. Ladies and gentlemen, if given this kind of scenario, how are you going to manage people of different generations? When I was doing SAC, when I was organizing SAC, I do have people from different generations. I do have people from baby boomers. I do have people from Generation X. I do have people from Generation Y. So how do I manage such diverse expectations? And management responsibilities, basically, you have 2 things you need to do. Number 1 is that you need to get the results. And number 2 is that you need to provide a human touch. What do you mean by human touch? Human touch means that it is not only about results, right? Always using the cane. Right now, you cannot use the cane. Because when you use the cane, the parents will say, so difficult lah, don't work lah, find another job. So that is what happened now. That is why the cane doesn't work anymore. So when the cane doesn't work anymore, we need to look at some other ways on how you can manage your people. Because if you're managing a few people, it is much easier. But if you're managing a team of people, 20, 30, 40 people, you have big problem if you do not know how to manage the different generations. So the idea is this, right? If you help others to get what they want, you will get what you want. So basically is that right now the new management style is this. You need to help people to get what they want. Then you get what you want. That is why in some of the companies that I've managed or I've been a senior manager, I've always asked the staff one thing. Every now and then I'll sit down with the staff and I'll ask this question with the staff. How do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Will you still be in this company or you'll be somewhere else? So if they are still in this company, fine, let's see how you can contribute to this company. If not, where else would be a more suitable place for you? So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, our job as manager is no longer as simple as that. You do your work, you do your work, you do your work. It's no longer as simple as that. Because the new generation, basically Generation Y, they have a mind of their own, as I mentioned, and yet they want to be heard. They want their voice to be heard. They want their opinions to be sought. And this is something that you need to look into. And that is why we talk about servant leadership. Servant leadership. A servant leadership basically is to help people to get what they want. And then you get what you want. So that is why servant leadership is a concept in Toastmasters. We always believe in, we always practice servant leadership in Toastmasters. Meaning that we are here to serve. Nobody gets anything out of it except personal satisfaction in serving you. See what you need and then give you what you need. And that is what Alex and his team is doing. And I believe he's been doing a pretty good job. Please give him a big round of applause.
Yeah.
And also, he'll be taking over the semi-annual convention. You all need to support him.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody support him. Yes.
Yes, support him. And that is why in servant leadership, we talk about the high performance leadership. Now this is the one, the high performance leadership. Now if you know about the high performance leadership, any one of you, have you heard about the high performance leadership? Yeah, the seniors one will know, the not so senior. The junior ones.
Millennium.
Gen Y will know.
Gen Y won't really know. Now please remember, ladies and gentlemen, in Toastmasters there is this program called the High Performance Leadership. Now please take opportunity to understand what is in this high performance leadership because of time constraint I will not be going into too detail about what this high performance leadership is about. But please remember, in high performance leadership there are 6 areas. Now these are the 6 areas that you need to handle, right? Now, vision and values, of course, when you have a project or when you are doing something, you must have a goal, right? You must have your vision, what you want to achieve, and what are your values. Very, very important. We talk in terms of values. Values means our core values that we hold to. Second is direction. Direction means your goal. Okay, your goal. What are the directions you are heading? Now you see the thing is that if the leader or the manager has very clear direction, okay, this is the way to go, then the whole team will follow. The whole team will fall back and they will follow this one. Will follow you. Now if you are not sure of what you are doing, your team will be everywhere. Okay, so that's the danger. Now the third one, of course, is persuasion. As a leader, we cannot just tell people what to do. Now you do what, you do what, you do what, you do what. We cannot. Right now we need to persuade people to do. Persuade and tell is totally different. Tell is one-way communication. Persuading is that I want you to look from my point of view. So that's the difference. The fourth aspect is in terms of support. Support means that how can I support you? How can I make sure you get what you want? So that is where the support comes from. That is why in manager, if you can support your people in giving them what they want, in the end you will get what you want. The fifth area, of course, is development. Development means training and coaching your people to achieve your desired goals. Now please remember, not everyone is born to do that kind of job. For example, if you're in sales, you're not born to do sales. So, if I give you training, if I coach you well, yes, you can excel in sales. Or in fact, in anything that you do. We need training, we need coaching. Likewise for you here, when you're doing public speaking, you need training, you need coaching, right? Yes, you get evaluations, that's part of training. In fact, when you're coming here for the Toastmasters meeting, it is also a very structured training program. Now, this is a wonderful product. And the sixth, of course, appreciation. How you appreciate your people. Saying a word, a nice word to your people, that will really help a lot. Giving a pat on the back, it will make them fly. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, if you can practice these six aspects, you will become the manager of the 21st century. Now, how do you practice this? Do your high performance leadership. Now, how are you going to do your high performance leadership? Go and talk to Alex. I believe he's going to do his HPL for this SAC, right? Yeah, if he's going to do that, now, those of you who are appointed into his team, please use this as an opportunity to do your HPL also. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please remember, managing in the 21st century is totally different. It's no longer like those days, 20 years ago when I started working. How people learn leadership, pick up their managerial skill is through their managers. That's how they learn. But right now, it's totally different. Now in Toastmasters, you are given the opportunity to become a better leader and a better communicator. So that's why make full use of what you have in Toastmasters, and I believe that you will achieve your objective on why you joined Toastmasters in the first place. So I would like to, any questions that you would like to ask? There's some Q&A session, some time for Q&A session.
My question
Yes.
is, we are talking about, from just now was top point of view on the leaders. What about the interaction between Gen Y and the Gen X? So it's the other way around, it's from the bottom up. So what can Gen Y do to better communicate with Gen X?
All right. On the part of the Gen X, two things you need to do. Number one is that this is what we call the art of facilitation. Number one is that you need to listen. Number two, you need to ask questions from the Gen X. As for the Gen Y, your job is to give your ideas and all that. Your job is to influence the Gen X to listen from your point of view. That was why in my team, when I was managing SAC, in my team I had 25% of my team members were Gen X. So basically what I did with them was that I gave them a free hand to do what they want to do, but within the framework which I've set for them. So as you can see some of the flyers that comes out, some of the things that they have done and all that, basically it wasn't my idea, it was their idea. So that was why for me personally, I have only 2 words question which I always ask them. Within budget? If within budget, go ahead. So basically my job is to facilitate, listen and ask questions. And if it makes sense, go ahead, let them do it. This will help to build their confidence.
I have 2 questions. Which one do you want? Question 1 or question 2?
You tell me, questions.
Alright, I give you a harder one. Question 2.
Yes.
You listed 7 characteristics of high performance
6
leadership.
characteristics.
And one of them is development.
Yeah.
And I believe that this is the development of people you are leading.
Yeah.
So my question is, do you therefore, with the realistic time that you have with them, and with the result that you have achieved with them, do you therefore delegate to match their strength, or you delegate work to give them opportunity to develop what they need?
Oh,
How do you do that?
how do I do that? Now the first thing is that, as I mentioned, that I need to give people the opportunity, right? And I put different people into different areas. If I feel that they can perform, go ahead. If not, then I will need to develop them in terms of training and coaching. Of course, if I need to go into the steps in training and coaching, it will take some time. So I just need to suffice to tell you here that you need to train and you need to coach your people. Only through training and coaching, they understand what they're supposed to do. Your first question?
Oh. Again on this,
Okay.
you have listed 7 characteristics.
6
Are they-
characteristics.
Oh, 6, huh? Okay, 6.
Next HBM was 7.
So my question is, are they ranked in any particular order?
No.
So how do you know which one to focus on?
You need to focus on all 6. Because 6 of it are equally important. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My time is up. So, if you have any questions, please contact me.
Wait. Gen X. One more time.